Sarvebhyo namaskaraha. I hope I am audible. I can start now. Vandetam madavaranendravadanam madbhagadheyaakritim shundadandasuchalanena jagatam mayantarayamayan vidravya pranati prasanna hridayo yonukta eva swayam rakshatyanvahamatmanoti virudam vaidyesha putrabhidham. At the outset, I would like to apologize for Wednesday's class. I had to cancel it in the last moment due to an emergency. So we will now continue. So I actually wanted to clarify the doubts that were, I did not take the doubts on Tuesday. I hope if you still remember the doubts, we'll take it at the end of today's session. We'll do a quick recap of what we went through on last Tuesday. Then we will continue with today's portion. Damanaka-pingalaka-samvadah. Navadhyante hyavishwasta balibhir durbala api vishwastastveva vadhyante balavantopi durbalaihi. So those who do not trust very easily. So avishwastaha. So those who are not pulled into trusting anybody. Balibihi durbalaha api na vadhyante. Those people, even when they are physically weak, they are not killed by the more powerful ones. Balibhihi yete navadhyante ke ye avishwastaha durbalaha api te navadhyante. So those who are not easy to trust, those who don't easily tend to trust others, even though they may be weak, but they are not easily killed by the powerful. Durbalaihi api vishwastaha evatu vadhyante. But even powerless people who are actually weak can destroy somebody by earning their trust. So the one who is easy to trust is the most likely to be destroyed, is the idea. Brihaspaterapi pragyo na vishwasam vrajendaraha yaiched atmano vridhim ayushyam cha sukhani cha. So yaha manushyaha atmanaha vridhim ayushyam sukhani cha iched. So the one who aspires for one's own long life, happiness and prosperity is not supposed to trust even Brihaspati himself. Is not supposed to trust him blindly. He has to always be cautious and aware. Shapathai sandhitasyapi na vishwase vrajedripoho na vishwasam vrajedripoho rajyalabhodyato vritraha shakrena shapathair hataha. So vritraha rajyalabhodyataha. So the one who was very much interested in rajyalabha, he wanted to capture swarga very quickly. So motivated by that, tadrishaha vritraha yaha rajyalabha udyataha asit saha shakrena shapathaihi hataha. So he was killed by Shakra by luring him into a promise. So actually there was a truce between them, and then so Shakra lured him to making a truce and then killed him. So the very promise that he made actually finished him off. Shapathaihi hataha. Na vishwasam vinashatrur devanam api siddhyati vishwasat tridashendrena ditergarbho vidaritaha. So we saw this Ditigarbha Nasha episode the other day. So Diti's womb was destroyed by Indra by earning her trust. So he first earned her trust and he pretended to serve her for a very long time when she was during her vrata period. So Kashyapa had instructed her to follow a particular vrata for a very long time, which she had actually successfully followed. But during the end, when it was almost time for the vrata to be over, she somehow slept off in the afternoon, and that was a vrata bhanga. So Indra, seizing the opportunity, finished her womb. एवं संप्रधार्य स्थानान्तरं गत्वा दमनकमार्गम् अवलोकयन् एकाकी तस्थौ दमनकोऽपि सञ्जीवकसकाशं गत्वा ऋषभोऽयमिति परिज्ञाय हृष्टमना व्यचिन्तयेत् अहो शोभनमापतितम् अनेनैतस्य सन्धिविग्रहद्वारेण मम पिङ्गळको वश्यो भविष्यति इति. So these thoughts about trusting somebody and being aware of falling into somebody's trust, these are the thoughts of Pingalaka. So he intends to check upon Damanaka. So after he sends Damanaka margam avalokayan ekaki sahatasthav. So he stands there all alone, so keeping an eye on Damanaka, who has gone to talk to Sanjivaka. Damanakopi. And what does Damanaka do? Sanjivaka sakasham gatva vrishabhoyamiti parignyaya hritamana. Is very happy, realizing that, oh, this is after all a bull. So this is, our work is very, very easy now. It is not some kind of a dangerous creature. It is a bull. So I have a plan in my mind. Shobhanam apatitam is indeed a nice thing has happened. Anena yetasya sandhi vigraha dwarena. So through the sandhi and vigraha of this bull. So this bull has to be first introduced as a friend to the king, and then by breaking their friendship, vigraha dwarena mama pingalakaha vashyaha bhavishyati. So Pingalaka will become my vashya. So he will come under my control. I have a plan. Uttancha na kaulinan na sauhardan ripo vakye pravartate mantrinam yavadabhyeti vyasanam shokamevacha. So the kings do not listen to the words of their ministers, don't even look for their advice unless and until some kind of a vyasana or a shoka, some kind of a dukkha, some sorrow overwhelms them, or some difficult situation they fall into. Unless and until that happens, they are not going to be caring much for the words of their ministers. Sadaiva apadgato raja bhogyo bhavati mantrinam ateva hi vanchanti mantrina atayeva hi vanchanti mantrina sapadam nripam. So apadgataha raja mantrinam bhogyaha bhavati. So only a king who is in trouble is wanted, is wished for by a minister, because only that kind of a king will even respect or pay heed to what the minister has to say. Yatha vanchati niroga kadachinna chikitsakam tathapadrahito raja sachivam nabhivanchati. So just like how a niroga, a person who is hale and healthy, will not wish for a doctor, would not want to consult a doctor. Evameva apadrahitaha raja. A king who is not in trouble does not need a minister. Evam vichintayan pingalakabhimukha pratasthe. So evam kaha vichintayati, kaha evam vichintayan pingalakabhimukha pratasthe Damanakaha. So Damanaka thinks all this and then proceeds towards Pingalaka. Pingalakopi tamayantam prekshya swakaram rakshayan yatha purva sthitaha. So he hides his akara. He does not want to reveal to Damanaka that he has lost trust in him, or he has not lost trust, but he is just doubting him. He is just being cautious. Damanakopi Pingalaka sakasham gatva pranamya upavishtaha. Damanaka also goes near Pingalaka, prostrates and sits there. Pingalaka aha kim drishtam bhavata tat sattvam. Did you see that creature? Damanaka aha drishtam swami prasada. So with your grace, I have seen. Pingalaka aha api satyam. Really? Damanaka aha kim swami padanamagre asatyam vigyapyate. Can I dare in front of your majesty? Can anyone do that? Apiswalpam asatyam yaf puro vadati bhubhujam devanancha vinashyeta sadrutam sumahanapi. So the one who lies in front of kings or the devas, sumahanapi drutam vinashyeta. He is finished off immediately. Sarvadeva mayo raja manuna samprakirtitaha tasmattam devavat pashyen navyalikena karhichit. So Devamaya, Sarvadeva Mayaha Raja. So a king is Sarvadeva Maya, is what Manu says. So he is the very personification of all the devatas. Tasmattam devavat pashyet. So he is to be seen and respected as you will a devata. Vyalikena na vyalikena. So he is not to be dealt with deceit. No deceit in front of the king. Sarvadeva mayasyapi vishesho nripaterayam shubha shubha phalam sadyo nripadevad bhavantare. So he is Sarvadeva Maya. So he is on par with all the devas, the king. But then there is a difference. Adhikaha visheshaha asti rajnyaha vishaye. Kaha visheshaha? Drupat shubha shubha phalam sadyam sadyaha bhavishyati. So the result of a good or a bad deed is immediately obtained in case of a king, but in case of devas, it is obtained only in the next janma. Bhavantare bhavishyati devanam vishaye parantu drupat tu sadyaha bhavishyati. Immediately bhavishyati. Pingalaka aha athava satyam drishtam bhavishyati bhavata na dinopari mahantaha kupyanti iti natvam dena nipatitaha. So Pingalaka now says, yeah, it could be actually possible that you have actually seen him, and he is a great creature. Na dinopari mahantaha kupyanti. So great men do not get angry on small things, okay, over people who are much below their stature. Na dinopari mahantaha kupyanti iti karanat natvam tena nipatitaha. Tasmat bhavan tena nipatitaha. Only because of that, you have not been finished off by him. The fact that you are alive only suggests the greatness of that being. Trinani nonmulayati prabhanjano mruduni nichaif pranatani sarvata swabhava evonnata chetasamayam mahan mahatsveva karoti vikramam. So the mighty wind does not uproot grasses. Trinani, the grass is not uprooted by the mighty wind. Why? It is always pranata. Right? It is always bent forward, and this in front of the wind, it is nothing. And this is the very nature of unnata chetasaha. So those who are lofty-minded, high-minded people, high-thinking people. This is the very nature. Mahan mahatsveva karoti vikramam. So vikramam, mahan janaha, mahajanaha. Mahatsu eva vikramam karoti. So he shows his valor only in front of an equal. Gandasthaleshu madavarishu baddharagamatta bhramad bhramarapada talahatopi kopam nagachati nitanta balopi nagas tulye baletu balavan parikopameti. Again, the same idea. A very powerful elephant does not get angry on a bunch of bees that are hitting the elephant with their legs. Okay, bharamara pada tala ahataha api. So this elephant is being hit by a bunch of brahmaras, okay, with their feet. Okay, where gandasthaleshu madavarishu baddharaga matta bhramat. So the rut is overflowing through the cheeks of a rutting elephant, let us say, and attracted by the mother jala, there are a bunch of bees that are around, that have gathered around the temples of the elephant. The elephant does not get angry over those bees because baletu tulye baletu balavan parikopameti. So a balavan, a mighty person, expresses his anger or valor only in front of an equal. Damanaka aha astvevam samahatma vayam kripanaha tathapi swami yadi kathayati tato bhrityatve niyojaya. Agreed, Swami. He is a great man. The being is a great creature, and we are dinas. We are dinas in the sense here he is talking about himself. I am an ordinary person and he is a mighty being. Yes, so be it. It is true. But even then, tathapi swami yadi kathayati. So if you are interested and if you order me, tato bhrityatve niyojayami. I can bring him under your service. Pingalaka aha sochvasam. He replies with a shock and a sigh. Are you capable of accomplishing this? What is not possible for a fine intellect? Tatachhastrair na nagendrair na hayair na padatibhi karyam samsiddhim abhyeti yatha buddhya prasadhitam. So an act, a work, yatha buddhya prasadhitam karyam samsiddhim abhyeti. So the way a karya that is well planned and executed through a fine intellect attains success, becomes successful. Tadrisham natat Tadrisham na shastraihi sambhavati na nagendraihi na hayaihi na padatibhi. So that is not capable of being attained even through the employment of fine weapons or a big army of elephants, horses, or a huge infantry. Pingalaka aha yadyevam tarhyamatya pade adhyaropitastvam adya prabhriti prasada nigrahadikam tvayaiva karyamiti nischayaha. So yadyevam. So if that is possible, if you can do that for me, amatya pade adhyaropitaha tvam. So you are being appointed in the post of a minister. Adya prabhriti, from today onwards, prasada nigrahadikam tvayaiva karyam. So prasada and nigraha, so reward and punishment come under your control now, comes under your jurisdiction. You have to do it. Atha Damanaka-sattvaram gatva sakshepam tamidamaha ehyehi-to dushta vrishabha swami pingalakastvam akarayati kim nashanko bhutva muhur nadasi vritha iti tachrutva sanjeevako bravit bhadra koyam pingalakaha. So now this Damanaka goes to the bull and says, Ehi, come here, Dushta Vrishabha. How is it that you're roaming around freely like this and making huge sound? Pingalakaha tvam akarayati. So Pingalaka is calling you. Tvam ahuyati tachrutva sanjeevakaha abravit. Who is this Pingalaka? I have no idea. Damanaka kim swaminam Pingalakam api na janasi. Don't you know our Swami Pingalaka? That kshanam pratipalaya. Just wait here. Phalenaiva jnasasi. You will know when you see him. You will know when you see the result of this. Sarva mriga parivritaha vatatale swami Pingalakanama simhastisthati. So don't you see there, surrounded by all the mrigas, our Swami Simha. He is a Simha and he is our Swami Simha. Vatatale tisthati. He is there right under the banyan tree. Now, Tachrutva gatayushamivatmanam manyamanas sanjeevakah param vishadamagamat ahacha bhadra bhavan sadhu samacharo vachanapatushcha drishyate tadyadi mam avasyam tatra nayasi tadabhaya pradanena swamina sakashat prasadaha karayitavyaha. We'll do the sandhichera now. Tat shrutva gatayusham iva Atmanam manyamanaha sanjeevakaha param vishadam agamat aha cha bhadra bhavan sadhu samacharaha vachana patuhu cha drishyate tad yadi mam avasyam tatra nayasi tad abhaya pradanena swaminaha sakashat prasadaha karayitavyaha. Hearing the words of Damanaka, tachrutva gatayusham iva atmanam manyamanaha sanjeevakaha param vishadam agamat. So Sanjeevaka became very, very, very sad. Param vishadam agamat. He attained great dukkha. Why? Gatayusham iva manyamanaha. So he immediately thought that his ayuhu is finished, that the Simha is going to consume him alive. So Gatayusham iva atmanam manyamanaha. So he thought to himself that his life is over, has come to an end now, and hence became very sad. Param vishadam agamat ahacha, and told this Bhadra, dear, tvam sadhu samacharaha vachanapatushcha drishyate. So seeing you, I think that you are a very person with a very fine conduct. Acharaha is conduct. Sadhu samachara is a very fine, right moral conduct you seem to have. Vachanapatushcha drishyate, and you also seem to be very good with words. Vachanapatuhu cha drishyate, very fine with words. So yadi mam avasyam tatra nayasi tadabhaya pradanena swaminaha sakashat prasadaha karayitavyaha. So you have to do this favor for me. Karayitavyaha. So karoti, karayati. So karana means to do. So karayitavyaha means what? You have to make Swami do it. You have to enable this for me. What should you enable? Prasadaha karayitavyaha. So you should somehow bring me his favor. Prasada is favor. Somehow you have to ensure that Swami is happy with me. Swaminaha sakashat. So from the side of the king, you have to secure me this favor. How? Abhaya pradanena prasadaha karayitavyaha. So he has to give me abhaya pradana, that I have to be safe, and you have to ensure this for me. So if you are going to take me there anyway, yadi mam avashyam tatra nayasi tad abhaya pradanena swaminaha sakashat prasadaha karayitavyaha. You have to kindly please ensure that he eat me and that I am safe. Please ensure this for me. Damanaka aha hoho satyam abhihitam bhavata nitiresha yatha. So Damanaka now replies, hoho satyam abhihitam. It is indeed true. Whatever you have spoken is fine. It is indeed a very fair request from your side that only after I promise this to you, you have to come with me. Why? Because the minds of the kings cannot be known at all. Niti resha yataha. Because this is a niti. This is a worldly wisdom. What is it? Pariyanto labhyate bhume samudrasya girerapi nakathanchin mahipasya chittantah kenachit kvachit. Pariyanto labhyate bhume samudrasya girerapi nakathnchin mahipasya chittantah kenachit kvachit. Pariyantaha labhyate bhumehe samudrasya girehe api nakathanchit mahipasya chittantah kenachit kvachit. So Paryanta is bound, limit. So bhumehe samudrasya girehe api paryantaha labhyate. So it is indeed possible to know the bounds of this bhumi that is huge, very vast. Seems limitless, but then you can know the limit of that. You can know the bounds. Evameva samudrasya paryantaha api kadachit labhyate. Even the bounds of the ocean can be known. Girehe api parvatasya mahataha parvatasya, huge mountain that looks extremely huge and majestic. Even tadrishasya girehe api paryantaha labhyate. Even the bounds of that mountain can be known. Parantu mahipasya chittantaha. But the heart, what goes on in the deep heart of a king, kenachit kvachit kathanchit nalabhyate. So it is not known by anybody, anywhere, anyhow it is not known. Whatever, how much ever effort is put towards that direction, it is very, very difficult to be gauged. You cannot measure the bounds of the mind of a king. Means what? They can come up with anything, anytime. So nothing can be sthira as far as the mind of a king is concerned. So it is very wise of you to demand this beforehand from my side. So I don't, I can understand it completely, is what Damanaka says. He is extending a hand of friendship towards Sanjeevaka, and he wants to win over the trust of Sanjeevaka as well. That is why he is talking so nicely. It is obvious. Kvachit. Kvachit means anywhere. Kva, putra. Putrachit means what? Anywhere. Go to the next one. Tattvamatreiva tishtha yavadaham tam samaye drishtva tatah paschat tvam anayami. Tathanusthite Damanaka-pingalaka-samvadah gatvedamaha swamin natat prakritam sattvam. So tat tvam atrayeva tishtha yavat aham tam samaye drishtva tataha paschat tvam anayami iti. Tatha anusthite damanakaha pingalaka-sakasham gatva idam aha swamin natat prakrutam sattvam tvam atraiva tishtha. So he says to the bull, please stay here. Meanwhile, yavat aham tam samaye drishtva tatah paschat tvam anayami. So let me go and have a talk with the king. Tam pingalakam samaye drishtva means I will convey your request at the opportune moment, at the most right time. Samaye means yogyavasare. Drishtva tena saha sambhashanam krutva tam drishtva tataha tadanantaram, after that tvam anayami, and then I will take you. Okay? So he is winning over the trust of the bull and definitely does not want the bull to know of his plan and does not want the bull to hear whatever he is going to talk to Pingalaka. So he says atraiva tishtha tathanusthite damanakaha. So having done this, Damanakaha pingalaka-sakasham gatva idam aha. So he goes to Pingalaka and speaks thus. Swamin natat prakrutam sattvam. It is not an ordinary creature. So please don't think of him to be an ordinary creature. Prakrutam sattvam na. He is not an ordinary being. Sahi bhagavato maheshwarasya vahana bhuto vrishabha iti. Maya prishta idamuche. Maheshwarena paritustena kalindi parisare shashpagrani bhakshayitum samadishtaha imbahuna mama pradattam bhagavata kridartham vanamidam. Sahahi, with sandhicheda now, sahahi bhagavataha maheshwarasya vahana bhutaha vrishabhaha iti. Maya prishtaha idam uche. Maheshwarena paritustena kalindi parisare shashpagrani bhakshayitum samadishtaha kimbahuna mama pradattam bhagavata kridartham vanam idam. So, and he is not an ordinary being. Who is he? Sahahi bhagavataha maheshwarasya vahanabhutaha vrishabhaha. So he is the very vehicle of Lord Shiva. He is the Vahana of Lord Shiva, and he is Swayam Nandi. Maheshwarasya Vahana Bhutaha Rishabhayam. Maya Prishtaha Idam Uche. And when asked, when inquired further by me, Damanaka is talking about himself now. Maya Damanakena Yada Saha Prishtaha. When he was inquired, when he was asked, Idam Uche, he told this. Uche. Uche is again a lit prayoga, but it looks different. Why? Because Gru Dhatu's Atmanepada prayoga this is, and in lit lakar. Uche, he told this. What did he tell? Maheshwarena paritushtena kalindi parisare shashpagrani bhakshayitum samadishta. So paritushtena maheshwarena. So a very, very pleased Lord Shiva. So very pleased. What did he do? By him, Tadrishena Maheshwarena. So Shiva, who was very, very pleased by me, what did he do? Kalindi parisare shashpagrani bhakshayitum samadishtaha. So he has instructed me. Samadishta is instructed. Here it means to be pleased and given a boon sort of a thing. So he has been very pleased with me, and what has he done? He has now blessed me. How? Kalindi parisare shashpagrani bhakshayitum. So in the parisara of Kalindi Nadi, Kalindi is Yamuna. So parisara is in and around Yamuna. Shashpagrani bhakshayitum. So he has allowed me, he has blessed me and blessed this land and asked me to graze around and have the fine grass that grows around here. Shashpagra is Balatrinagra, very, very fine fresh grass. Okay. The tip portion of that. Agra bhaga is Shashpagrani. Shashpa is Balatrina, very fresh green grass. Shashpagrani bhakshayitum samadishtaha. So I have been instructed by Lord Shiva to grace around and enjoy myself. Kim bahuna, what more to say? Mama pradattam bhagavata kridartham vanamidam. So Bhagavata Mama Pradattam. So this has been given to me by the Lord. Bhagavata Mama Pradattam. And for what? Kridartham. For my delight, for my enjoyment. This entire Vana Pradesha. Sarvam Bhagavata Mama Kridartham Pradattam. So it has been given by the Lord for my enjoyment, for my delight. Pingalaka aha sabhayam. Satyam jnatam maya adhuna na devata prasadam vina shashpabhojino vyalakirane evam vidhevane nishanka nardanto bhramanti tatastvaya kim abhihitam. Pingalakaha aha sabhayam satyam jnatam maya adhuna na devata prasadam vina shashpabhojinah vyalakirane evam vidhevane nishankaha nardantaha bhramanti tataha tvaya kim abhihitam. So Pingalaka now responds to Damanaka. Satyam jnatam maya adhuna. Now I have known the truth. Satyam maya adhuna eva jnatam. I was confused for a very long time. At least after you mentioned that this is a Vrishabha, so immediately a doubt came upon my mind. Now it has been cleared. Idanim maya satyam jnatam. Kim tat satyam? Na devata prasadam vina shashpabhojinah vyalakirane evam vidhevane nishankaha nardantaha bhramanti. So without the blessings of Devata, without the blessings of Maheshwara in this case, shashpabhojinah. So shashpabhoji is something that feeds on fresh grass. So a domestic animal, a very herbivore. Shashpabhojinah vyalakirane evam vidhevane. So this kind of a forest, which is vyalakirana, which is dushtamrigakirana. So there are a lot of wild, dangerous animals roaming around in this forest. In this kind of forest, how is it that a shashpabhoji, a herbivore, nishankaha nardantaha bhramanti? How is it that it is roaming around freely and making a huge noise? Nardantaha evam vidhevane shashpabhojinaha herbivores. He is talking in plural, in bahuvachana. Evam vidhevane shashpabhojinaha devata prasadam vina na nardantaha bhramanti. So without the blessings of a devata, it is impossible for a shashpabhoji to roam around freely like this, making noise moreover. So what did you say next? Tataha, after that, after hearing this from the bull, tvaya kim abhihitam? What is it that you said? Damanaka aha swamin etad abhihitam maya yad etad vanam chandika vahana bhutasya tat swaminaha pingalakasya vishayi bhutam tad bhavan abhyagata priyoditihi tattasya sakasham gatva bhratrisnehena ikatra bhakshana viharana kriyabhihi ekasthanashrayena kalo neyaha. Damanaka aha, Damanakaha aha swamin etat abhihitam maya yat etat vanam chandika vahana bhutasya mat swaminah pingalakasya vishayi bhutam tat bhavan abhyagatah priyaha atithihi tat tasya sakasham gatva bharatrisnehena ekatra bhakshana pana viharana kriyabhihi esthana ashrayena kalo neyaha. So Damanakaha aha. So he replies to the king, Your Majesty, Swamin etad abhihitam maya. So this was told by me. What is it? It is to be understood within quotes. Yat, that etat vanam, this forest, chandika vahana bhutasya mat swaminaha pingalakasya vishayi bhutam. So this comes under the control of our Swami Pingalaka, my Swami Pingalaka, Mat Swaminaha Pingalakasya Vishayi Bhutam. Vishayi Bhuta means it comes under the kingdom of our Swami Pingalaka. And please don't think of him as an ordinary lion. He is Swayam Chandika Vahana Bhuta. So he serves as the vehicle of goddess Chandika. So he is Chandika Vahana Bhuta Pingalaka, not an ordinary lion. And who are you in his place? So you are a guest in his kingdom. Tat bhavan abhyagataha priyaha atithihi. So having come here, abhyagataha bhavan asmakam priyaha atithihi. You are our dear guest. Priyaha atithihi. Tasmat tat tasya sakasham gatva. So what is to be done by you? You have to go approach him, go near him. Tasya sakasham gatva bhratrisnehena kalaha neyaha. He will come to all these words. Bhratrisnehena. So you have to behave in a brotherly fashion. So you are Maheshwara Vahana Bhuta Rishabha. He is Chandika Vahana Bhuta Simha. So please behave as a brother. Approach him with a brotherly sneha, with brotherly affection. Kalaha neyaha. So you can spend your time here. You may spend your time here with a brotherly affection towards him. And what is it that you can do? Yekatra bhakshana pana viharana kriyapihi. So in the same place, staying together, you can eat bhakshana, pana, so eating, drinking, viharana, roaming around, all these activities you can do together. Yekatra, in the same place, bhakshana, pana, viharana, kriyabhi, yekasthana ashrayena. So you both can be in the same sthana. And kalaha neyaha, you can have the same habitat as my king. So both of you can be in the same place and roam around freely. You can have fun. Kalaha neyaha, you can spend your time in a very, very nice manner by extending a hand of friendship towards our Swami and with developing a brotherly love affection for him. Bhratrisnehena ekatra. So out of brotherly affection in the same place, bhakshana, pana, viharana. So eating, drinking, and then viharana. Roaming around merrily, happily. All these activities you can do in the same place with our Swami. And you can pass your time. Kalaha neyaha. It. Tatastenapi sarvametat pratipannam uktancha saharsham swaminaha sakashad abhayadakshina dapayitavya. It. Tadatra Swami pramanam. Tataha tena api sarvam yetat pratipannam uktancha saharsham swaminaha sakashat abhayadakshina dapayitavya. It. Tadatra Swami pramanam. And then tena api, tena vrishabhena api sarvametat pratipannam. So and by that bull, all this that I just mentioned to you has been accepted. He has accepted all my proposal. My proposal has been approved by him also. He is also okay. And he was very happy. Uktancha saharsham. And it was told delightfully by him. What? Swaminaha sakashat abhayadakshina dapayitavya. He told me that you have to get me the abhayadakshina, get me safety from Swami. Swaminaha sakashat abhayadakshina dapayitavya. See, dapayitavya, dapanam means it comes from da dhatu in the bhadigana. Da dhatu in juhotyadigana becomes dadati. Da dhatu in bhadigana becomes yachati, yachataha, yachanti. And bhadigana da dhatu, when you add a nich to it, nich pratyaya makes a verb. You make it causative. It is a so it is a pratyaya which indicates causality. For example, pathati nichi yojanena kim bhavati pathayati iti bhavishyati. Pathati, pathayati, karoti, karayati, evameva, yachati, dapayati. So, to make someone give is dapana. So, sakashat abhayadakshina dapayitavya means you have to get the lion, get your Swami to give abhayadakshina to me. So, you have to get it from him for me. So, you have to make him give. So, if you give, it is yachati. If you make somebody else give, that is dapayati, dapayitavya iti. So, he has told this. And then now, Damanaka knows that all this will be done, but very finely understanding the nature of the king, he, even though he knows that the matter is already done, he does not want to sound like the person who is taking decisions here. So he says, Tadatra Swami Pramanam. After this, it is Swami's choice. Swami Atra Pramanam. So in this matter, that he has asked Abhayadakshina from you, so I cannot grant that to him. So Swami Pramanam. So you are the authority here. So you can decide whatever you want to. Atra Swami Pramanam. Tachrutva pingalaka aha. Sadhu sumate sadhu. Mantri shrotriya sadhu. Mama hridayena saha sammantriya bhavatedam abhinitam. Taddatta maya tasya abhayadakshina. Param sopi madarthe bhayadakshinam yachayitva drutataram aniyatam iti. Atha sadhu chedam uchyate. Tat shrutva pingalakaha aha. Sadhu sumate sadhu. Mantri shrotriya sadhu. Mama hridayena saha sammantriya bhavata idam abhihitam. Tat datta maya tasya abhayadakshina. Param saha api madarthe abhayadakshinam yachayitva drutataram aniyatam iti. Atha sadhuja idam uchyate. So he says, Tat Shritva, having heard this from Damanaka, he says, Sadhu Sumate, Sadhu. Hey Sumate. So the one who has a fine intellect is Sumati, right? So hey Sumate, oh intelligent one, well done, well done. Sadhu, Sadhu Kritam, Bhavata Sadhu Kritam. So Mantri, Shrotriya, Sadhu. So you are a very well-versed person in Shastra. The foremost among ministers, Sadhu, well done. He is showering his appreciation on Damanaka now. Mama hridayena saha sammantriya bhavata idam. So this looks like you have consulted with my heart. Mama hridayena saha sammantriya. Having consulted my heart, this has been bhavata idam abhihitam. So this is my heart and you have spoken my heart. Datta maya tasya abhayadakshina. So he has been given abhayadakshina from my side. Maya tasya vrishabhasya abhayadakshina datta. So his safety, the promise of his safety is ensured now. I am giving it. Param. But I also want another thing. What is it? Saha api madarthe abhayadakshinam yachayitva drutataram aniyatam. So saha api. He also aniyatam. So may he be brought here. So may you bring him here. Bring him here. You may bring him here now. How? Drutataram aniyatam. Bring him quickly. I want to see him. My heart longs for his friendship now. So drutataram aniyatam. So please bring him quickly. How? Madarthe abhayadakshinam yachayitva aniyatam. So bring him here after securing my safety. So please request him for my safety also. So he also has to give abhayadakshina to me. Because the lion now knows that it is after all a bull. He still thinks it's a very mighty bull and it is the Vahana of Paramashiva. So I don't want to take risk. So I cannot be, I don't want to trust upon the natural enmity that exists between me and the bull. But I want to ensure my safety. So sahapi aniyatam. So you may bring him here, but after ensuring my safety. Madarthe, for my sake, abhayadakshinam yachayitva, having assured safety for me, for my sake. then you may bring here. Drutataram aniyata. Bring him quickly, instantly. Atha sadhu chedam uchyate. Indeed, it has been rightly observed by ancestors or whoever, by people. What is it? Antasaraira kutilaira chidrai suparikshitaihi mantribhir dharyate rajyam sustambhairiva mandiram. Antasaraira kutilaira chidrai suparikshitaihi mantribhir dharyate rajyam sustambhairiva mandiram. Antasaraihi akutilaihi achhidraihi suparikshitaihi mantribhihi dharyate rajyam sustambhaihi iva mandiram. So mandiram dharyate. So a temple is held. Right? So how is a temple firmly held? A fine piece of construction. How is it held? For many years, it stays strong. How? Sustambhaihi. Sustambha. Stambha is a pillar. It is held with the support that is given by very fine pillars. Right? Sustambhaihi. Mandiram dharyate. So fine pillars support a mandira and make it long lasting. And how are these pillars? Antasaraihi. So they are solidly made, right? So they have sara, substance within them. It's not hollow pillar, right? Antasara, they have substance inside them, solid pillars. So tadrishaihi stambaihi mandiram dharyate. Akutilaihi, and they are straight. They are not crooked. They are straight. Akutila means straight pillars. Then achhidraihi, they don't have any holes. And suparikshitaihi, and they are well examined for other faults. So tadrishaihi stambaihi mandiram yatha dharyate. The way a fine temple is supported by pillars that are solid, straight, well examined and without holes. Evameva antasaraihi akutilaihi achhidraihi suparikshitaihi mantribihi rajyam dharyate. Evameva, a kingdom is supported, is held firmly by ministers who are antasara, who have substance in them, who are not empty vessels making much noise, who have substance in them. Antasaraihi, and they are not crooked. Akutilaihi, achhidraihi, they have no flaws. And suparikshitaihi, they are well examined by the king and then appointed. Tadrishaihi mantribihi rajyam sustambaihi mandiram iva dharyate. It is tadrishaihi. So by those ministers, those kind of ministers, a rajya is well protected, well supported, well held, like a fine temple held by good pillars. Athacha mantrinam bhinna sandhane bhishajam sannipatike karmani vyajyate prajna swasthe kovana panditaha. Mantrinam bhinna sandhane bhishajam sannipatike karmani vyajyate prajna swasthe kovana panditaha. Prajna vyajyate. So, prajna vyajyate means manifested, expressed. Prajna is prajna here can mean talent, acumen. Okay. The real talent of what is inside. Prajna kada vyajyate. When is it expressed? Mantrina. So when is the true ability of a minister manifested? How can one, what is the proof for the fine ability of a minister? Bhinna sandhane karma. So when there is a bheda, when there is a difference of opinion, when there is a separation between two different rajyas, let us say, or between two different kings, when they are bhinna, So when there is a bheda between two kingdoms, between two kings, mantrinam prajna tesham sandhane karmani vyachyate. So the fine ability of a minister is expressed when he brings two separate people together, two different rajyas together. When bhinna sandhana happens, then the ability of a minister manifests. Evameva bhishajam sannipatike karmani prajna vyachyate. So when a bhishak, when a vaidya treats a kind of fever, sannipata, I was referring to the dictionary, I think it is a some kind of a very difficult to cure fever, which is caused by the imbalance of the doshas in the body, vata, pitta and kapha. So when there is an imbalance, some kind of a fever that comes and it is very difficult to treat. And bhishajam prajna sannipatike karmani vyachyate. So his ability to treat the patient who is infected by this fever, then the true ability of a doctor comes out. Swasthe kahavan pandita. So who is not a pandita when everything is fine? Swastha. So when the Rajya is swastha, when the Rajya does not have any problem, it is hale and healthy. Hovana pandita. Kahava mantrina bhavet. Everybody can become a minister because there is no problem to solve. Evameva swasthe sati. When the body is hale and healthy, everybody can be a doctor. What is the need for a doctor? How do we know the fine abilities of a doctor? Only in these situations. Damanakopi tam pranamya sanjeevakasakasham prasthitas saharusham achintayat. Aho prasada sammukhenaha naha swami vachana vashagascha samvrittaha tannasti dhanyataro mama uktancha. Damanakaha tam pranamya sanjeevakasakasham prasthitah saharusham achintayat. Aho prasada sammukhenaha naha swami vachana vashagaha cha samvrittaha tat na asti dhanyataraha mama uktancha. Now Damanaka also, what does he do? Tam pranamya, now prostrating to Pingalaka, Sanjeevaka sakasham prasthitaha. He proceeds towards Sanjeevaka, saharusham achintayati. He is very happy. He delightfully thinks. Aho prasada sammukhenaha naha swami. So our swami is now prasada sammukhenaha. He has become very, very favorable now. Right? Prasada sammukhenaha. He is tending to be very, very favorable. He seems to be very, very happy. And vachana vashagahacha. And he has come under my sway. Looks like he has been impressed. He is impressed by my words. Right? Vachana vashagaha. So he has come under the sway of my words. Tatu nasti dhanyataraha. Now, so at this moment, I feel like I am the most luckiest person on this earth. Mattaha dhanyataraha kopi nasti. So there seems to be nobody who is more fortunate than me. Dhanyataraha, mama dhanyataraha kopi nasti. There is nobody very, very fortunate than me. Uttancha, why? Amritam shishire vanhiramritam priyadarshanam. Amritam rajasammanam amritam kshira bhojanam. Amritam shishire vanhiramritam priyadarshanam. Amritam rajasammanam amritam kshira bhojanam. He thinks so. This anubhava to Damanaka is like the anubhava of tasting nectar, like tasting amrita. So what are the things that are amrita tulya? There is a popular saying that he recalls. He says, Amritam shishire vannihi, Amritam priyadarshanam, Amritam raja sammanam, Amritam kshira bhojanam. So what are the things that are like amritapana? Shishire vannihi amritam. In extreme shishira, in extreme cold, fire is nectar. So Dadrishe shishira ritau yada shitam adhikam bhavishyati. So when there is huge, temperature drop and it is very, very cold, tadrishe samaye vannihi amrutatulyam bhavati, amrutopamanam bhavati. So fire is like nectar during that time. Evameva priyadarshanam amrutatulyam bhavati. So the sight of a loved person, sight of your beloved is like amritapana. Evameva rajasammanam amritam. So to be honored by the king is amritatulya. Kshira bhojanam amritam. After that, so kshira bhojana here refers to kshira payasam. Okay. So tasting that is also amritatulya. Kshira bhojanam api amritam. I think we can stop here and I will take questions. 5 more minutes. There are no questions, I can continue. Abhitihi. Where does it come? Sudha Mahodaya. Where does it come? Abhitihi. Is it abhitihi? Bhitihi is fear. Abhitihi, is it? Abhitihi is fear. Bhitihi is fear. Abhitihi is no fear. Any other questions? I am not able to see the hands that are raised for some reason. Are there any hands that are raised? No hands raised. So I think we can finish this off now. Yeah, we can finish this. We continue. Atha sanjeevaka sakasham asadya saprashrayam uvacha. Bho mitra prarthitosau maya bhavadarthe swamya bhayapradanam dapitascha tad visrabdham gamyatam iti. Param tvaya rajaprasadam asadya maya saha samayadharmena vartitavyam. Atha sanjeevaka sakasham asadya saprashrayam uvacha. Bho mitra prarthitaha asau maya bhavadarthe swami abhayapradanam dapitaha cha tad visrabdham gamyatam. Param tvaya rajaprasadam asadya maya saha samayadharmena vartitavyam. Atha, then sanjeevaka sakasham asadya. So reaching sanjeevaka, so he goes near sanjeevaka. Saprashrayam uvacha. Prashrayaha means pranayaha. Preetihi ityatha. Preeti sahitam uvacha. So he speaks very affectionately in a fine, very nice, pleasing, lovable tone. He says, "O Mitra, dear friend, prarthitaha asau maya bhavadarthe swami." So asau swami, this swami or that swami has been requested by me for your sake. So your request has been conveyed to him. Saha prarthitaha. He has been requested by me, maya. For what? Kimartham bhavadarthe. For your sake. Swami prarthitaha. Abhayapradanam dapitaha cha. And he has been made to give abhayapradana. So he has assured your safety. He has been made to give safety to you. Abhayapradanam dapitaha cha. Tat tasmat karanat visrabdham gamyatam. So you may proceed calmly without any fear. So trusting this, you can proceed. Visrabdha means nishankaha, vishwastaha, nischintaha gamyatam. So without any worry, you may proceed. Param, but then one thing you have to remember. Tvaya rajaprasadam asadya. So So after having won the favor of the king, Maya saha, with me, Samaya dharmena vartitavyam. So we will have some mutual terms and conditions for our relationship. Okay, that is Samaya dharma. Samaya dharma is like some kind of a mutually agreed upon terms and conditions, some kind of a contract dharma. Samaya dharmena vartitavyam. So you should remember to behave with me in accordance with our Samaya dharma, with our Samaya. So we have some kind of terms and conditions. You will have to behave in accordance with that. When Raja Prasadam Asadhya, so after having won the favor of the king, please don't forget me. We will behave with each other according to our own terms and conditions. We have a pact for ourselves. And what is that pact? We will see tomorrow. We can close the session here. There is one question. Visrabdha. Okay. Visrabdha. I will tell you. Astu. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.